Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
What's going on, people? This is Inflewence and I'm back with another video. Thank you for joining me today for this Throwback Thursday, which today is I know you're looking at this figure and it's like, what is going on here? This is Grimlock from Fall of Cybertron, which is Generations. It was the Generations Fall of Cybertron, which is from the video game. And it's funny because they just had a reveal, I believe, for Grimlock. I think it was Fall of Cybertron. But Planet X, which I think that's what they do. They do the Fall of Cybertron games. So that one looks crazy. This isn't as great. As you see it spinning around, getting me dizzy. But, all right, so we can stop it. And you can see, this is special to me because it is one of my son's first Transformers when he was young. I think this was 2013 or 2012 when I got him this, when it first came out. I just thought it was cool. It was Grimlock, and he was at the time he liked Transformers, so he was 7 years ago, and he was in Transformers. Bought this, and I thought it was cool. But now taking a second look at it, I could see just how cheap it was. Now the elephant in the room, well, maybe not too much of an elephant in the room. His arms, I have a lot of missing parts. My son actually played with this. This was a toy that he loved. He loved dinosaurs and monsters. He had some Predacons too that he just gravitated towards because he always loved dinosaurs. And I mean, what kid don't? And he always loved like monsters and stuff. So the dragons, and so the Predacon actually had Predaking, which was, I think, Prime when he was actually Dragon. When he was one character, he wasn't the Combiner. So he had that and this. Like those two were his go-tos. So this is well played with. You can see his foot is off. His arms, I have no idea where they are. The sword is somewhere. They're probably in boxes somewhere because when I moved, I had all his stuff in a drawer. And I think everything was together. It just got separated, so it's all over the place. But as you see underneath, this was, I think this was telling of the time. I mean, even now they have a lot of hollow pieces, but Generations was making some great figures, and then they made some okay figures like this one. From the side, from the top, it looked okay, but it had a lot of gimmicks. Like it had this shield came with it, which goes on robot form. I mean, I think it can go on here too because it just goes right there. So you can have the shield, you have the sword, I believe, pegged in also. If I had the sword, also we had this used to light up. Oh crap, that's crazy. I don't know what kind of batteries this is, but and my son played with this heavily. And it's been in a box for a long time. So I guess that's a testament to whatever they're using as far as batteries and batteries compartment. Yeah, so it still lights up. That's cool. That's dope that it still lights up. So yeah, you had that feature where it lit up. And you push that button, that little button there. It has a symbol right there. That's for his chest. Very easy to transform, which I will do in a minute. His feet. Like, this is just a simplified version of the game Grimlock. I mean, the Grimlock in the game, I should say, not the game Grimlock, which they did make a game Grimlock. So let's get him in a robot and we can examine him more. They just pull that out. Push these down like this. I think this snaps in here somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe go back. Oh no, but then his feet go out. Again, I don't know if it's a hard snap or a soft snap, but I do know that's his legs. Then for his arms, of course, he has these like this. They come out like that. Pull these out like this. Then you have this hollow bit in there where this will bend down, bend in, and then the head bends in here like this, I believe, or maybe a little bit more. No, maybe not. Just like that. I thought it bent more. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't have it right. I think it's right. Maybe it's just like that. Not sure if this locks any which way. If it doesn't, it probably doesn't, which is one of the issues. Yeah, then you bring up his hands and you close this little bit of stuff. And over here, of course, he's missing his I always could never get this arm right. I think I think it's backwards, that's why. No. Came off the mushroom peg. So the shoulder was right, but I just remember my son never being able to get it correct, or me never being able to get it right. It always bugged me. It's bugging me now. It was on backwards, but it was crazy tight. And that's why I couldn't ever get it. It's funny how time sometimes changes your perspective, because I could never get that arm right, and I just had to take it off the mushroom peg. But now that I kind of, you know, I'm back collecting a lot, so you kind of have that experience, and you know what is what and what should be where, even though it's a different figure. So I think that's cool that I finally got the arm. I'm going to show my son. Because, I mean, I doubt he cares. He's 17 now, so. But yeah, here's Grimlock, and he looks pretty great. Has this right here. Put it on his arm, or you can put it up here. I like it on his arm because it's more like a real shield. Like you can really maneuver it if you needed to block something. He had light piping, you see it working. Usually I don't like light piping, but my lights is having it work. But he also, since his light works, I don't know if I can get it to work again. But when you have the light, it usually lit up the chest. There you go. So then his chest lit up. And that was a pretty cool feature. That worked. It's still blowing my mind that it works. But yeah, his back wasn't too bad in robot mode, because everything, which is why it was hollow in alt mode and his dinosaur mode, because everything was fitting in a certain place. This still ain't right either. There's a hole right there in that tab. It's supposed to go in that hole, and it doesn't, because it's not down far enough. So yeah, this was really, I just remember it being hard to get right, and never being able to get it correctly how it should have been. But in any instance, he had alright articulation. Not gonna go through everything, but he did have some ratchets at the knees. He had no ankle, but he had an ankle up and down. That was cool. He had elbow that got you 90 degrees and went all the way around. And it had a butterfly, but I'm not going to use that butterfly because it was so crazy feeling. He had the head spin all the way around with the light piping. Face sculpt, I guess it looks like the game. It's close enough to what Grimlock really looks like. But yeah, all in all, this wasn't a great figure. But it just brings back a lot of memories. And that's what Throwback Thursday is about. For me, is the memories that the Transformers, the older Transformers bring. And just taking a look at it, a fresh-eyed look at some of the older Transformers. That's what I want this series to be. When I do throwback, it's not necessarily going to be G1. I said this before. It's not necessarily going to be G1 or something that's super old, but just an older figure that maybe means a lot to me, or maybe just is regarded. Like there's a couple generations figures that's regarded as great figures, and they are great figures that I want to take a look at, like that Springer. I don't know how many people know or have the Generation Springer, but that was a great figure. It was based off IDW. But anyway, this has been Fall of Cybertron, Grimlock, and thanks for watching. If you watched this video, please subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff, and I will get up with you in the next one.
Ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.